Like scientific research, it is difficult to find accurate result in social research. Therefore, the output of the research is reliable, clear as well as accurate, and it is also dependable in nature. For example, if a physicist measures the sound, the result will hold good or remain same in the future researchers also. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, we were discussing about first unit under Business Research Method. And your first unit is all about Introduction to Business Research, and today we are in the third session. So let us quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So in a previous session, I have covered this topic, that is types of business research. So what do you mean by business research? So in order to solve the problems of an organization, so here the business have to collect sufficient information in order to solve that problems. That is the future problems that may arise in the business organization. For that reason, they have to collect proper information in order to overcome that problem. So that is known as what? Business research. So here the business research is conducted under various departments in a particular business. So it may be in a purchase department, or in the sales department, or in the finance department, or in the production department. So each and every department has to overcome the problems. So in order to overcome the problems, they have to make them prepare. So that what they will do, they will collect sufficient information and they will prepare for the problems, which is called as what? Business research. Or in order to undertake a particular type of activity in the future, so what they have to do? They have to predict in advance. So in order to predict, so what they have to do? They have to collect sufficient information relating to that particular problem or relating to that particular task, which is called as what? Business research. So in today's session, we shall continue with a new topic, that is scientific approach to research. So how we can compare this business research to the scientific research. So first let us see what is this scientific research. So scientific research are conducted in an organized manner. So what do you mean by scientific research? So here research is conducted on a particular scientific aspect, or in terms of scientific, that is known as what? Scientific research. That is the research which is conducted in the field of science is called as scientific research, and it is conducted in an organized manner. So here there is a particular manner in which the research is conducted. Generally, these are organized in a controlled environment that support studies which is created for the specific purpose. Now here, if the research has to be conducted in the scientific field, so it will be in a controlled manner. So when we take a business, so here each and every aspect in the business keeps on changing. But in case of scientific research, so here the research is conducted in a controlled manner where there will not be more fluctuations. So here the research will be controlled, or the research will be conducted in a controlled manner. There is no chance for personal interference in the study. When we take the business research, there are chances of personal opinion also. But in case of scientific research, so there is no personal opinion. Therefore, the output of the result of the research is reliable, clear as well as accurate, and it is also dependable in nature. Now why it is accurate, reliable and dependable in nature? Because under scientific research, the research is conducted in a controlled manner, because there is no much fluctuations in scientific research unless business research. But the business research is not compared to scientific research. But we cannot compare business research to scientific research, because scientific research is conducted in an exact manner as well as in an organized manner. But in case of business research, research cannot be in an organized manner, because there are a number of external factors as well as internal factors which keeps on changing. So for example, if we take the economic factors, so here the economic factors will not be same. So it keeps on changing. So thereby, whatever the research which is conducted in that particular field will not yield a particular result because the economic factors keeps on changing. So, but in case of business research, since it is done in an organized manner, so we cannot compare scientific research to that of business research. Many times, business research is organized in an open environment without physical laboratories. The other difference between scientific research as well as business research is that under scientific research, the research is conducted in laboratories, whereas in this business research, it is conducted in an open environment where the information is collected from the open environment. So, this is about scientific research. Hope you have understood what is the meaning of scientific research. Business research is wholly a social research. So, because the research is conducted in the external environment, so it is called as what? Social research. Thus, business research differs from scientific research. Scientific research is conducted in laboratories, whereas this business research is conducted openly in the social environment. So, it is called as what? Social research. In business research, the target group of research study involves consumer groups or social groups. So here the mainly or in business research, mainly research is conducted with the social groups, that is the consumers. The attitude or behavior in subject to contact or constant changes since it is influenced by various environmental factors. So we know about the environmental factors. So if you take economic factors or social factors or political factors, so here the factors are not the same. So it keeps on changing. But in case of scientific research, so these external factors will not change often and often so that they can conduct this research very easily. But in case of business research, the result which is obtained, we cannot take that result till the end of that particular objective, till the end when the objective is been achieved, because it keeps on changing. So we are going to discuss about the social groups here. So social groups is nothing but the consumers, where the behavior of the consumers keeps on changing. So we can't predict a particular result under business research. So this can change from product to product, place to place and time to time. Of course, we know about the behavior of the consumer. So here the behavior of the consumer is not the same from one person to another person, from one place to another place, as well as from one time to another time. So it keeps on changing. Like scientific research, it is difficult to find accurate result in social research. So what you have to understand here, under scientific research, we can get the accurate as well as reliable result, whereas in case of this business research, it is very difficult to get the exact result because of the behavior of the consumers. In addition to this, the personal interest is influenced in social research. Whereas in scientific research, this personal interest is not influenced, but in case of social research or this business research, individual's decision is also important. So here the individual decision. So if we take the individual decisions, here also it keeps on changing. The decision of one person is not same as that of another person. So these are the few concepts relating to the scientific research as well as business research. Hope you are clear with both the meaning. So what you have to remember here, scientific research will be constant in nature, whereas in case of business research, it is not constant, it keeps on fluctuating. Now let us see what are the limitations of applying scientific methods in business research problems. So if we take the business research problems, that is the problems of an organization, so what are the limitations? So why can't we apply the scientific research to that of business research? So I have told you there are a lot of difference between scientific research as well as business research. So if we compare that or if we apply that scientific research to business research, so what are the limitations? So let us see the limitations of scientific methods under business research. The limitations of scientific methods for business research problems are summarized below. So let us see a few of the problems here. So the first one is lack of accessing tools, and the second one is difference in result. Third one is time pressure. fourth one is lack of creditworthiness, and the fifth one is difficulties in using experiments, and the sixth one is complexity of subject, seventh one is moral problems, eighth one is human complexity, ninth one is measurement problem, and the 10th one is external variable control problems. So these are the certain problems which is faced by business research if we apply the scientific research. So let us discuss in detail individually. So coming to the first one, lack of accessing tools. So under business research, tools for assessment of research result is not properly available. So if you take the scientific research, so the tool to measure the result is available properly, but in case of business research, the tool of measuring the result is not available properly. That means scientific research results can be easily accessible as it supplies good measurement tools. So here the results can be measured easily under scientific research. But in case of whereas in case of business research, effective accessing tools of result of research is not available. So here there is a deficiency of tools under business research. So we do not have a proper tool to measure the results under business research, but in case of scientific research, the measurement tool is proper. The information is composed of personal opinion of the consumers or respondent. So under business research, we are going to take the personal opinions of the consumers. Where you know about it, the personal opinion of the consumer is not one and the same. There is lot of difference from one personal opinion to another person's opinion. Only quantitative data is available in business research. For example, for a soft drink consumption, quantitative data can be collected, but it will not be qualitatively. So here only quantitative data can be collected. So here I have told you there is no proper measurement tool under business research. So this is also one of the major limitation of this business research. Now coming to the second one, difference in results. So let us see. So if you take an experiment under scientific research, the result will be same. So whoever can experiment that particular aspect, but the result will be same. But in case of business research, it is totally different. So whatever the experiment which is made by one person under business research will be totally different from that of another person. Because this is mainly because of the change of opinions of the consumers as well as the researchers. So there is consistency in the results of scientific research. So I have told you, so if a person have experimented a particular thing, so if other person does the same experiment, he will get the same result. So there is consistency in the results of scientific research. For example, if a physicist measures the sound, the result will holds good or remain same in the future researchers also. So as I've told you, if one person have experimented a particular thing and he has got that result, if the other person does the same experiment, he will get the same result. But this will not happen in case of business research. It repeats the same result even if the number of researchers are conducted on it in the future also. So in scientific research, they will get the same result. However, in case of business research, the result may not be remain same and may not hold good when the similar research is repeated in future. So we cannot get a consistent result under business research. A consumer may exhibit different preference in different time, different period for the same product. So I have told you here, if you take the behavior of a particular consumer. So a consumer may demand something today, but his demand may be different tomorrow. So here the taste and preference of the consumers keeps on changing, so does not hold good in case of business research. Therefore, the scientific research method is not implemented for business research. So this would be the second limitations, where in scientific research they will get the exact result, but in case of business research we cannot predict the exact result. And the third limitation is time pressure. So if you take the time also, there are certain limitations in business research. So scientific research is a study shows consistency in its result and it is continuous and comprehensive in nature. So we know about it. So here the result what is obtained under scientific research is consistent in nature. So it will not change. But business research is different from this. Business research is subject to time pressure. So here the time requirement under business research is more than that of scientific research. For example, a consumer may express his opinion favorable at time. If the same consumer is contacted after a little while, he may give an unfavorable opinion for the same product. So this we know. So suppose a consumer have given a favorable opinion in a particular period of time. After some time, if he meet the same person, he may give unfavorable result of that particular product. So here it mainly depends upon the behavior of the consumer which keeps on changing, which is not constant in nature, which keeps on changing. A consumer may prefer a soft drink during summer. The same consumer may show disinterest to consume soft drinks during winter. So this also may happen. This is mainly because of the behavior of the consumer. Therefore, scientific research cannot be applied to business research problems. So I have already told you here the time which is required under scientific research is very less when compared to business research. In business research, time requirement is more only because of the difference in opinions about the consumers. Next, fourth limitation is that lack of creditworthiness. So let us see why this is a limitations under business research. So business research suffers from lack of creditability. Scientific research exhibits clarity, accuracy as well as reliability. So I have already told you scientific research gives an exact result which is accurate in nature, which is reliable as well as which exhibits clarity in nature. Business research is conducted on human beings on their behavior as well as opinion. So we know about it. Business research is mainly conducted on the behavior of the consumers. But whether the behavior of the consumers is same, no, it keeps on changing. These aspect changes often and they differs especially from time to time, place to place as well as from one person to another. Therefore, business research lacks creditworthiness. Whereas in case of scientific research, whatever the result is obtained, it is accurate, it is reliable and it gives clarity to the results. But in case of business research, it is time consuming. At the same time, it is mainly focused on the behavior of the consumers which keeps on changing. So we can't predict a reliable result from this business research. So it lacks creditworthiness. Next one is difficulties in using experiments. So we know about it under scientific research, it is very easy to go for an experiment. But it is difficult, very difficult in case of business research. We cannot go for an experiment where we can't get the exact result. So unfortunately, in business research, the use of experiments is many times not possible. So it is highly possible in case of business research to go for the experiments. For example, in marketing, it is not possible to control all the aspects which can influence the demand conditions. So we know about it. So here the demand for a particular product may increase or decrease. So it keeps on fluctuating because demand is influenced by various external environmental factors on which the marketer has no control. So here the external environment keeps on changing. So we can't avoid that external factors in an organization. If we take about the market itself, so there are a number of external factors which keeps on changing. We cannot, or the organization will not have a control over that external factors in the marketing also. So here it becomes difficult to use the experiment. Therefore, the application of scientific research is not possible in case of business research, that is in relation to experiments. In science, we can go for experiment, but in case of business research, it is highly possible to go for an experiment because of the external factors which keeps on changing and which is unavoidable in nature. Next, sixth limitation is that complexity of subject. So in business, goods move from manufacturer to consumer through a supply chain. So here of course, so whatever the production which has done in the production department, so or in the manufacturing organization, so it has to be moved to the ultimate consumers for the consumption. So what the goods will move? So here the goods will move from manufacturer to the consumers. While marketing, it is common that consumer can change their preference when they are influenced by the advertisement or any other incentives offered. So this is also mainly relating to the human behavior. So here, once the production is done, so that production or the products which has been produced, so it has to reach the ultimate consumer. So during the process or during that duration, here the consumer's preference may also change on the other side. So there may be a demand for a particular product and the organization have produced that product in bulk. But we can't tell that the demand will be there for a longer period of time. So it keeps on changing. The consumer may shift his demand to a particular or any other product. So however, in case of scientific research, this kind of change will not be found. So in scientific research, the changes will not happen frequently, but in case of business research, these types of changes will happen frequently because of the behavior of the consumers. Next one is moral problems. So in business problems research, human involvement is greater. So we know about it. So here we are going to mainly focus on the human behavior. So human behavior is not constant in nature. It keeps on changing. So in business research, human involvement is greater. So research is conducted on the human behavior, market, finance and ultimate consumers. So here all these factors on which the business research is being conducted, so no one is constant. It keeps on changing. So if we take about the human behavior or if we take about the market or if we take about the preference of the consumers, so it keeps on changing. So attitudes of the individuals vary from situation to situation without being consistent. So here the attitude of the human behavior or the taste and preference of the human behavior is not constant in nature. It keeps on changing. Thus, behavioral issue of humans is a major moral issue. Therefore, the real and scientific data cannot be collected at all times. So we can't collect the actual data because we will not get the actual data because the behavior of the human keeps on changing. Next, eighth limitations of this business research is that human behavior or the human complexity. So human behavior is complex, mysterious as well as diverse in nature. So if we take about the limitations, so we have to compare that with the scientific research with that of the human behavior under business research. So here it is that human behavior is complex, mysterious as well as diverse in nature. So when a person observes the behavior of another person, the discriminatory factor arises. So here there occurs the discriminatory factors because one person is totally different from that of another person, or by influence they can adopt the taste and preference of other persons also. So in this situation, the exact result for the search cannot be determined from the data being collected. So depending on this, so we can't predict the behavior of the consumer. So I have told you, they themselves may change the behavior or they may influence by some other person. So we can't predict the actual behavior of a particular consumer. So experts opine that it is impossible to derive scientific results from social research involving human complexity. So human complexity means what? That is, the behavior of the consumers keeps on changing and we cannot adopt the scientific research to business research. And the next limitation of this business research is that measurement problems. So as I've already told you, there is no proper measurement tools under business research. So the ninth limitation is that measurement problems. So I have told you already that is in business research, there is no proper measurement tool, unlike scientific research. So various aspects of human behavior have a psychological nature. Such factors cannot be scientifically measured. So there are number of behavior of the humans which keeps on changing. So we can't, or we are not having a proper tool to measure that changing behavior. In addition to this, human behavior is not uniform always. So it is uncertain as well as unpredictable. So we can't predict what would be the behavior of a particular person, as well as it is uncertain in nature. I have already told you, today a person may like something but tomorrow he may change his preference. So it is uncertain in nature. So different people behaves differently under the same situation. Such a complex environment or system has made it difficult to incorporate scientific research principles to business research. So for this reason, that is, there is no proper measurement tool. That is, in order to measure the behavior of a particular person or a particular consumer, there is no proper tool like scientific research. So this scientific research cannot be applied for business research because of this measurement tools. Next, 10th limitation is that external variable control problems. So let us see what are these external variable control problems. So when research is conducted for business problem, it is influenced by various environmental problems which are uncontrollable. Now, what are the environmental factors? It's nothing but the external factors which are unavoidable in nature. For example, if we take about the economic factors, political factors, social factors, so these are the external factors in an organization which are unavoidable in nature. Where in case of internal factors which are inside the organization, to some extent we can completely avoid that internal factors. But if we take about the environmental factors or external factors which keeps on fluctuating and there is no proper control for the organization, so it is unavoidable in nature. So when a scientific research is used to business research, external factors have a negative impact on research. So even though if we apply scientific research to business research, so it cannot be applied properly because of these external factors or environmental factors which are unavoidable in nature. So external factors including changes in the economic system, social and cultural changes, changes in the customs, traditions, etc. may negatively influence the research. So I have already told you the external factors like economical factors, social factors, political factors. So these are the factors which are unavoidable in nature, which do not have a direct relationship with the business and they cannot be controlled. So such factors, so if we take such factors and if we apply the scientific research, it is completely unavoidable, or we cannot get a proper result if we apply scientific research to business research. The scientific research methodology will observe the cause as well as effect. So under scientific research, we are going to measure the cause as well as effect. So what is the cause and what would be the effect? So it is carried out in a controlled laboratories which is largely influenced by the external factors or external environmental factors. So if we take about the scientific research, so here the experiments, whatever experiments they are going to do in the laboratories, so it is not influenced by the external environmental factors. But in case of business research, overall we are going to take each and every aspect. So there the external factors is, or the influence of external factor is more in the business which are unavoidable in nature. But in scientific research, no such external environmental factors. So here what we can tell that this scientific research cannot be applied for the business research in order to get a proper result. So there is a little chance of infiltration of human personal opinions. So I have told you in business research we are going to concentrate on the human behavior, but in case of scientific research there is no such external factors. But in case of this business research, so we are going to mainly focus on the human behavior which keeps on changing, and along with that, there are certain external factors also which are influencing this business research. Therefore, accuracy, reliability, applicability, etc. is more under where in scientific research. On the other hand, in case of social research, that is business research, human involvement, human judgment, bias, preference, manipulation, etc. will influence the result. Under scientific research, no other external factors are influenced. But in case of business research, there are a number of external factors which are influencing. Along with that, the main focus is given to the human behavior, where it includes human involvement, human judgment, bias, preference, manipulations, etc., which is not constant in nature, which keeps on changing. In this respect, scientific methods cannot be wholly adopted to business research problem. So if you see all these limitations, so what we can tell that is scientific research cannot be applied for the business research wholly. So to a certain extent, the scientific research may be applied, but we cannot apply whole scientific research to business research, because business research mainly focuses on the human behavior which keeps on changing, which is uncertain as well as unpredictable in nature. So these are the certain limitations of this business research. So in my next session, I am going to discuss with a new topic, that is ethical issues in business research. So let us see what are the ethical issues under business research. My dear students, hope you have understood the session. See you all in my next session with a new topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.